but one topic configuring VLANs was chopped into 3 videos. Yeah. So okay. So make sure to watch that before this one, so you will know how to configure VLANs as switch. But anyway, okay. The syntax for description is name. So let's name it HQ users, right? Okay. So HQ users. For the name, you cannot use the space, so we'll use the I prefer dash or hyphen against underscore. Okay, so users, HQ users. Okay, we'll use like this, HQ users. Okay, then enter, and then let's create the next VLAN 99. Okay, name is management, so MGMT for management. That's a description. And then next is VLAN 999. Name is this one is for native VLAN, so let's name native. Okay. All right. So after creating the VLANs, I will verify show VLAN brief. Alright, so here you can see the 3 VLANs, VLAN 10, the description, HQ users, VLAN 99, management, MGMT for management, VLAN 99 for native. Okay, so okay, after the VLANs created on the core one, so okay, so I forgot. Before creating the VLANs, we should put the trunks first in the trunk connections between the core switches. So okay, so let's do that now. So gigabit 0/0 and 0/1. They are connected to core switch 2. So let's put it in trunk. Okay, but at the same time, let's bundle it first, and then we will put it into trunk mode. So configure terminal. Let's go to the interface. So interface mode. This is the command interface gigabit 00. Okay, so this one will put the switch port command for switching, and then switch port trunk encapsulation, that one queue. Okay, this one is to allow trunk to carry multiple VLANs. That one queue is I standard, open standard for trunk mode. Okay, and then switch port mode trunk. Okay, and then okay, so here we will first we will check we will verify the trunk configuration. So show interface trunk. Okay, so it's saying here gigabit 00 is in trunk mode on. Its encapsulation is 802.1q, and it's saying it's trunking, status trunking, and native is VLAN 1. VLANs, okay, so usually after you create a trunk, by default it will allow all the VLANs. So from 1 to this range, it will allow all the VLANs to pass to the trunks. Okay, so here VLANs allowed and active. Okay, are this one. Okay, so VLANs is okay, so all VLANs are allowed now. So we will okay, we leave that as it is. So we need to put the native VLAN. Okay, put the native VLAN. This one is for switch port security also. Security switch port trunk VLAN. Sorry, native VLAN 999. Okay. So interface status. Sorry. So interface trunk to verify. Okay. Okay. So here you can see that the native VLAN is set to 999. Okay. Okay, so VLANs allowed. Okay. Okay, in forwarding state, okay, these 2 VLANs are allowed 10 and 99. Okay, and you can see here the native VLAN is 999. Okay, here we have a message. Okay, So it's saying that on this side, which is core 1, our native VLAN, the trunk is set to manually set to 999, but in the other side, although it's not yet configured for trunk, the native VLAN, the default there is 1. So it's saying here not consistent. So we need to match on the other side the native VLAN. Okay. So let's go. Let's save this first. Let's go to core 2. Okay. So core 2 is empty. Okay. So show interface status. Okay. So let's configure the trunk first. Okay. So wait, show. It's just check here. So interface trunk. Okay. So one interface. Okay. So here. Okay. First of all, we'll do the same. I will configure VTY first. BTP domain is let's match all BTP config here. So the domain is corp lab. So BTP domain corp lab. So BTP version, let's use to BTP proning VLANs, and then BTP mode is transparent. Okay, so we'll verify show BTP status should match the core 1. So it's here version 2 core plug burning enabled, and version mode is transparent. Okay, so which is okay. And then we will configure the spanning tree mode. If you remember, we use the rapid per VLAN spanning tree. Okay, show spanning tree. Okay. Okay, now spanning tree is running on a rapid per VLAN spanning tree. And then here you can also see the notification here that the native VLAN on the trunk is matched. Okay, so we'll use this one. This is connected to core 1. Okay, so switch port or switch port trunk encapsulation that one queue switch port mode trunk. Okay, then switch port trunk native VLAN 999. Okay. Okay, so let's check show interface trunk. Okay, so it says on mode on encapsulation it auto.1 queue check correct, status is trunking, native VLAN 999. So okay, so VLANs allowed on trunk. Okay, these VLANs, all these VLANs allowed, VLAN 1, and okay, so because we don't have the VLANs here yet, so we need to manually configure it here. So that is what BTP is for. Okay, so if you configure BTP mode in core 1 to server, and this one also server, so whatever VLANs are configured here, it will automatically generate here in the core 2. But sometimes if there's a misconfiguration, then you will sometimes you will overwrite the VLANs in on the other box because of misconfig. So that's why BTP mode is sometimes you need to be careful. If you set server to server and server to client, because whatever VLAN information on the server, it will replicate to other servers or to a client. So sometimes it will overwrite the VLAN database information there. That's why the safest way and the best practice, standard practice, is use the transparent mode, because transparent is only local, so it will not affect the other boxes. Okay, so that's why here, although we have some VLANs here, it is not existing here, so we need to create the VLANs here also. Okay, so we already know how. So name HQ users. Okay, so you can also do like this, VLAN 99 and VLAN 999, but still, you still need to manually name them, okay? GMT and VLAN 999, name is, okay, I'm using copy and paste here. A click is copied and then another left click is paste, okay? Show VLAN brief. Okay, so show VLAN brief. So here, this one already looks like the same. I mean, mimic the VLAN informations from core 1 to core 2. Okay, now let's check spanning tree. Okay, here on the layer 2 perspective, we need on the spanning tree perspective, we need to have core 1 as the root of the spanning tree and core 2 as the backup secondary root. Primary root for core 1 and secondary root for core 2 of the spanning tree. So if you check your spanning tree VLAN 10, okay, it says here this bridge is the root. Okay, so this bridge is the root. Okay, so spanning tree root election is they are running processes in the background. Okay, so they will elect which one is by default primary or the root bridge. Okay, here it says that this core one is the root bridge. Okay, so if you check on the secondary, okay, it's saying here that the root of the spanning tree for this VLAN, because this is per VLAN spanning tree. So for VLAN 10, this bridge, this core switch 1 is the root of the spanning tree for VLAN 10 because this is per VLAN spanning tree. And then for core 2, for VLAN 10, the spanning tree root it's saying here is this one, port 1, which is on gigabit 0/0. So if we go to the diagram, sorry. So so what is saying is from core two's perfect perspective is saying the root of the spanning tree in this interface. So going in this direction. So that is the according to core 2 on VLAN 10, the core is, you see here, the core is going is seeing spanning tree root on gigabit 0/0. Okay, so if you see here 0/0. Okay, okay, so let's continue. So if you check the other VLANs, okay, it's also saying here the root of this VLAN 99 is also in this core 1. Okay, well, there are what do you call is categories or so for the spanning tree election, right? There are a lot of things behind the scene, but probably one of the reason, if not MAC address selection, is because this core 1 boots up or first, or the VLAN is created here first. That's why it becomes the primary. So it's not really the okay. I explain later, but let's continue. So here in core 2, let's check VLAN 99. So same thing is the root is going to this, going to core 1. Okay, so if you check the 999 also is again is, so here the root is all the VLANs, the root is here. Okay, so you can check like that. She's spanning tree root. So all the VLANs are here. You can see here, so spanning tree root. These MAC addresses is his belongs to core 1. So if you check here, so you can see the root is going to this interfaces. Okay, so now okay, later when we optimize,